Welcome to Same Cast Different Day podcast. I am Martel Roland.
And I am Tina Marie.
Oh hey girl, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? I ain't seen you in about 3 months. I ain't even talked to you about 18 days.
I've
Okay,
been sick.
okay. So I had a whole totally different thing planned for the start of the show, and then something just popped up on my phone, and I'm just like, really? So this is about our dear president that he just put out on Truth Social. Our fabulous Rudy Giuliani, a true warrior and the best mayor in history of New York City by far, has been hospitalized and is in critical condition. What a tragedy that he was treated so badly by the radical left lunatics Democrats. All and then he put all and he says all and he was right about. I don't the grammar. I don't know. That's the Trump thing. Oh, all and he was all right about everything. Let's see. They cheated on the elections, fabricated hundreds of stories, did everything possible to destroy our nation, and now look at Rudy. So sad, President Donald J. Trump.
That's terrible. How you gonna say it's a shame and then turn it into a whole another political
Political,
rant? I
like,
don't understand it.
like, what do that have? Like, how is it the
Nothing. It has
Democrats'
nothing.
fault?
It has
He's in
nothing
critical.
to do with it. It has nothing to do with it.
Okay. So what I really was going to start the show with was this right here, where it says U.S. national debt surpasses the size of the economy for the first time since World War II. That's just how much debt we in. So first, in case you guys didn't know, after World War II, we've just coming off the Great Depression, which that was just a sad, terrible time for our world country. And we in Great Depression times five because once again, why is so many of us in debt because nobody can afford to live here. That's why. That's why our debt is so high as the people we can't afford to live in the country. That's really what it all boils down to. We can't afford to live here.
Ooh, Laura, we was just talking about how high gas was, how high groceries are, and other things, other bills like gas and electric, and how the government programs are not adjusting for inflation and all this extra stuff. Yeah, it's getting a
Mm-hmm.
little.
It's a little hard out here for a pimp. We ain't trying to get the money for the rent. Oh, let me stop before I get sued for copyright infringement. And speaking of gas, BP. BP has earned more than double its profit since the conflict with Iran began 2 months ago. BP reported that they have earned 3.84 billion or 1.47 per share compared to last year's 687 million or 26 cents per share. Gas prices are at their highest point at gas prices are at their highest point since 2022 at 423 according to AAA. Now, this was actually published like a week ago. Gas prices now, the highest I've seen is 479. Tina said that she's seen 499 for gas prices.
I saw two specific gas stations that were 4.99 in different areas of the town,
One of my
and one
coworkers,
of them and one of them was a BP.
see, one of my coworker, he was like, he tried to make a bet that gas prices are gonna go down by next week. I said, dude, we're getting closer to a holiday. Like gas prices aren't gonna go up. They go up near holidays. Like, well, they know that
It's
there's
not
gonna
a
be a lot of
damn
people.
girl. Mother's Day. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas. And they know that a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of traveling during the holidays, especially with Memorial Day coming up. So gas prices are going to continue to rise.
Woo, child. They ain't traveling on Spirit Airlines though.
That they ain't doing. Post Spirit, if you guys don't know, Spirit Airlines has completely shut down. They stopped operations. They went to the government for a government bailout. And from a story that I heard, was that the federal government was going to offer Spirit Airlines a $5 million bailout. But in return, the government said, "Hey, we want to own 90% of Spirit Airlines." No. So Spirit Airlines was just like, "No, we just rather shut down." So the reason why the government wanted to uh, own 90% of Spirit Airlines from the story, the source of the story, one of the stories that I heard was basically, as you know, our government is broke from Donald Trump overspending and not charging people who their fair share in taxes. So we don't have the money to go buy the expensive aluminum and things like that to build like our jets and helicopters and all these other kind of things. So what the government was going to do is by them giving Spirit Airlines $500 million and for 90% ownership of Spirit Airlines, hey, we're going to take some of your jets that's already made, that's pretty much built already, and we're just going to turn those into, U.S. Like like flight like for attacking stuff. Like they're going to take those, probably either scrap them or take the metal.
Fighter jets.
Yeah, there we go. Jets.
Okay. Okay.
So they're gonna take those.
You're
and
welcome.
turn them into, whatever you have. So they're gonna take. They was gonna try to take the Spirit Airline jets and turn them into fighter jets to use for the U.S. government. And Spirit Airlines was like, "I'd rather just go bankrupt than let y'all do that." And they just said, "Yeah, we're going bankrupt. We refuse to let y'all take over our jets for that to go kill people." So
they ain't wrong. They not wrong at all. Not at all.
Spirit Airlines for that. So I got a few things. So this is one of the main things that I had wanted to talk about when it came to middle class economy. Oh, we're already 7 minutes in. When it came to the middle class economy, so there's this lady who gives a breakdown. So we're going to watch and discuss it. So just give me a second.
The middle class is the most expensive place to live in worldwide, and no one is talking about it. Poor people get help. Rich people, they have options. The middle class somehow pays full price for everything and gets nothing. Think about it. If you make $85,000 a year, it sounds fine on paper, but you're too rich for financial aid, so your kids are going to take out loans. You're too rich for housing assistance, so you pay rent full price. You're too rich for medical aid, so your insurance costs $600 and it barely covers anything. You're too rich for food stamps, so your grocery bill eats you alive. But you're too poor to invest, too poor to buy property, too poor to hire help, too poor to start a business without risking everything, too poor to take a year off or to actually be free. So you work the 50 hours a week to stay exactly where you are. You can't go down, the safety net is gone, you can't go up, the capital isn't there. You're just stuck running on a treadmill that rewards you with the same spot every single year. And the most cruel part is you're the one that society depends on. You pay the most taxes by percentage, you fund everything, you vote, you show up, but you get nothing back but a clap that you're doing fine. The middle class isn't a step on the ladder, it is a trap door. If you're in it, you've got two choices. Climb hard enough to escape it or accept that you're funding everyone else's lives except your own. There's no staying in the middle. The middle is disappearing, and the people who don't see it are the ones that are going to wake up wondering what happened to the life that they thought that they were actually building.
I mean, well said, but who is she and what makes her an expert?
I just came across it online. I'm not exactly what she's expert in, but it kind of makes sense. That's why I'm saying, like, that's why I titled the video like the middle class is being destroyed, because the way how things are going now, there's not going to be a middle class people left. Like she was saying, like the middle class people, we fund everything because now, like I said, you have the top 1% are getting tax cuts to the point where they're just not paying taxes at all. And then we fund the food stamps, the free child care, the free health insurance that some of those people get. We fund all that stuff. Like all that stuff come from middle class tax dollars. Now, yes, some of that do come from the lower class people, but that come from the purchase of things. Um, but we have more of it that is coming out of our checks, and then we go into the store. We know we're paying more to sustain the lifestyle that we came accustomed to, so we're paying more for a lot of stuff. And yet, like she said, like when we need help, there's no safety net for middle class people. There's no food stamps. If I go home, if I'm hungry, I can't go down and say, hey, I need some type of food assistance. They're like, oh, you make too much money. Yeah, but I'm still struggling, you know. um there's like you were saying about the like the cost of electricity, which I was going to talk about later in the show because I wanted to talk about data centers. But the cost of electricity and heating is going up. Like there's a proposal here in Wisconsin where they're talking about increasing the cost of electricity another 2%. And once again, us middle class people, we're going to have to pick up that cost of that 2% of everybody, because once again, those people who are considered lower income, who make $25,000 or less, those people are the ones that's going to qualify for the energy assistance and all them other kind of programs that helps them keep their lights on. But there's no one to help us keep our lights on. You know, like I said, you got these middle class people. I can imagine being a person making $85,000 a year, and out of that $85,000, let's just say you bring home five or $6,000 a month. And out of that $5,000 or $6,000 a month, 2,000 of that is just gone on housing, and then another 2,000 of that is gone in taxes, and then that don't include, paying for food for your house, car expenses if your car break down, everyday lifestyle costs. That it eats your money away, and don't have an emergency pop up, or for God forsake, if you got kids, I'm sorry, that 6,000 turned into about $200 after you get to take care of the kids, take care of your house, take care of everything that you need to be doing to be a responsible adult. By the time you left for $200, $200 out of 6,000. And like she said, you got the middle class people. Just like, thank God that the little one was smart enough to get a full ride through college, because this one right here would have been paying out of pocket for her son's tuition. She would
which was
qualify for financial aid.
yeah, that tuition per year at that school he got accepted into is 55 grand a year.
Mommy, pack me this.
55 grand a year, and she's expected to help with that. Like I said, there's nothing in place right now to protect the middle class people. Like I said, from middle class people, it's the constantly everybody's constantly taking and taking and taking and taking. And like the lady said, you're just gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be 60, 70 years old, maybe you're about 60, 70 years old, you'd be like, what the hell happened? And then they wonder why millennials, they say, because they say us, I don't know why, it's like it's a whole nother generation that's younger than us, that's drinking age and able to vote, but they always talk about us for some reason. But they say that millennials, we don't have money in our savings account. As soon as we get money, we're blowing it on going. So because it's like we need to have fun. Like the world is depressing. As the millennial, we don't live through, like, at least here in Wisconsin, we don't live through our water being poisoned. We don't live through a serial killer chopping up people and eating them. We don't live through the Twin Towers being bombed the first time in the 90s. We don't live through 9/11. We lived through the war in Iraq. We had the housing market crash. Then it was the bank crash. Then it was the car industry crashing, and then we had to live through Ebola. We had Ebola, that was a thing, and after Ebola, we had COVID. It's been a lot, and this is all before
Swine flu, bird flu.
and this is all before 40. Like, it's been rough. It's been like soon as I graduated high school and got into the job market, everything was just at a standstill. Like, unemployment was very high. Everything was just crashing. I literally entered an adult world where everything was failing. And this is when Obama has just taken off. And they're gonna say, oh, well, it's Obama's fault. We was that first 4 years of under Obama, we was living under President Bush's laws. The laws that Obama passed during his first term, we really didn't start seeing the effects of those until his second term. So no, it wasn't Obama's fault. It was Bush's fault. But like I said, I entered a market or an adult world where everybody was depressed, broke, out of work, hungry, all kinds of things. Like no, everything was just terrible. Automakers wasn't making cars. Like you saw a lot of car, as you noticed, a lot of cars disappeared around that time period. Car brands. Um, the housing market was crashed. There was too many houses on the market. Nobody was buying them. Nobody could afford to buy them. Unemployment was was higher than high itself. So it was terrible. And now we're going through this whole thing again. Like I said, it's at the point now if the middle class,
It was higher than high itself.
yeah.
Okay, I felt that. Continue.
So we're at the point now, like if the middle class was to collapse today, if the middle class people just like decide like we're not talking that, and technically the middle class still are considered doctors. So there's a lot of physicians who still only make 100 grand, and there's some who only make between 70 to 100, and up. So there are still some physicians. There are nurses. There's teachers. There's your garbage collectors. All these. It's a lot of important jobs.
Police, fire,
Police and fire. There are a lot of important jobs that's considered at middle class, and if those people are out of work, there's no more food stamps for the poor. There's no more tax money to fix the roads. There's no more money for infrastructure. There's no more money to fund a $400 million ballroom that nobody asked for or needed. It's a lot of class. Like this country will not be able to operate without the middle class people who gets nothing back from this country. But like she said, a pat on the back and you're doing a good job. You're doing the right thing. That's it. That is all we get. And then on top of that, you get people who are considered those lower class people who get their food stamps and stuff, and they like to go in stores and act like
and pay me, and then you can talk to us all kind of way you want to, bro. The fuck?
I can talk to you however the hell.
No, you cannot.
Go back to your damn country if you want to act like that.
Back to the. You just told me to go back to my country.
Yes, I did say that.
Bitch, I saw your fucking EBT card in there. Guess who?
So what?
Guess who paid for that motherfucking shit?
What?
I did.
Oh well.
Bitch, you know how.
How do you want me to feed my kids? I'm fat.
Oh my fucking god, bro, you got me fucked up, bro.
Yes, you got me fucked
I
up.
pay
Bitches
taxes
like to eat.
for your fucking food.
Yeah, bitches like to eat and my kids like to eat.
I pay taxes for your fucking food, and you told me to go back to my country?
Good. That's what you
Your
do.
fucking lazy, big ass bitch. The fuck look like a fucking upside down bowling pin looking ass.
That's because I like to.
You look like my fucking suburban, okay? Fucking potato bill looking ass header. Get the fuck out of here. You ain't come in here and pay me.
Okay, clearly, there was some editing in that video, but I have walked into stores and been in stores where conversations like that has happened, where people are in there talking to the people who own stores like that. And what a lot of people don't understand, whether they're here illegally or legally, the ones that are here illegally, they pay taxes too. When every time they go to the store and buy something, they're paying taxes too. And guess what? They don't get food stamps. They don't get health insurance. They don't get the free childcare. They don't get nothing. They can't go qualify for anything because you got to have what? A social security number to even file taxes. So once again, you got these people who go into the store and talk to people like that, tell people to go back to their country when it's the people like them that's actually funding your lifestyle. The ones who depend on food stamps and all these other kind of things. Like just take for instance, like Alabama and Mississippi. Those are two deep red states that depend on the tax dollars from Democratic states to keep their state funded. So us people who live in Democratic states are paying very high amounts of tax, especially in federal taxes. And instead of us getting that federal tax money back or have that federal tax money go back into our own state and our own communities, it's being sent to places like Alabama and Mississippi who are misusing their money or are not taxing their people enough money because these are Republican-related states. So they're not taxing their people enough money or not having their people pay their fair share in taxes. So, they don't have enough money to fund their state, which means now we got to take money from the Democratic states to help fund their state. But yet y'all hate the Democratic states so much. Like, make that make sense. Why do y'all hate it so much? if y'all depend on our tax dollars so much. There are states that depend on farming. There are a lot of these states that depend on farming. Most of their money in their economy come from farming. But then you had all the illegal immigrants deported, so now they don't have nobody work on farms. And since there's no produce leaving that farm is not making no money. Now that farm is going bankrupt. And if all these farms, then if all the farms continue to lose money and go bankrupt in these states, in these states where they're red states, and they depend on illegal immigrants to work their farms, and their whole economy collapse. So, like, y'all just so fixated on, we need to send them back. Like I said, not everybody who crossed that border illegally, who are considered illegal immigrants, but not every one of those people who crossed that border are rapists and killers and all these other kind of things. But yeah, y'all are protecting a man that's sitting at the White House who want to paint the reflecting pool blue in Washington, D.C. By the way, spent $2 million on tax money on that, by the way, to paint the reflecting pool in D.C. Y'all want to protect the pedophile. This man was going into, just because he's the owner of a pageant, don't mean that he should be able to go into a girls' locker room where women are getting changed for the pageant. You, as a grown man, should not be in backstage where the women are getting changed at. No. Now let that have been a ordinary man who owned a pageant or something like that and decide to go back there and watch the women change. Like, they be considered they call all kinds of names. And people be okay, and y'all would just defend it. I mean, y'all wouldn't defend. Y'all would defend Trump, but you wouldn't defend, Y'all know what I'm saying, hell. Y'all need to do better. And then speaking of gas prices, so our favorite friend with the red beard, he come and I saw his video. I was kind of thinking it's the same thing. I was telling Tina, she was like, we paid, like I said like the most, when gas is really high, the most I paid for gas was $4 and maybe $4.40 at the most when gas was at its highest where we live at. But at $5.79 and like that I saw today, she said she saw $5.99. Gas has never been close to $5 in the state of Wisconsin ever that I can remember. And this man said in his whole 42 years of life in Pennsylvania, he never seen gas at $4.79. So I'm going to play this clip for you.
What do you mean regular is $4.75? In Pennsylvania, regular, 1 gallon, regular, unleaded, $4.75. You want to talk to me about a ballroom? A room for your balls. You got the balls to be talking about a new room for you when it costs, the minimum wage in Pennsylvania is $7.25. Somebody getting paid minimum wage? Over half of that out. They got to work 40 minutes before taxes to be able to afford 1 gallon of gasoline. You think people going to show up for work? What happens when that shit hits $5 next week? That shit's going $5 next week. It was $3.89 last week. It was $3. I'm talking about regular unleaded. I'm not even talking about premium. I'm not even talking about Supreme. You got rid of the Supreme, remember? Supreme leader, you blew him the fuck up. That Strait of Hormuz, you said it was open. You said the war was won. That was 2 months ago, you fat bitch. Now that shit $4.70. I'm not in California. I'm not in fucking California. It's $4.75 at the fucking Wawa. And you out here yapping at me? Oh, I need a ball. You don't need a ballroom. You need to get some fucking brains. How about get you a brain room where you just stop fucking talking and tweeting with your dumb little fat thumbs until the numbers go down. Because that shit, if I see a 5, I'm telling you, 42 years, I never seen a 5 at the beginning, a regular unleaded. I see a 5, oh, buddy. If I see a 5...
I hope he don't see a 5 because I hope he don't see a 5.
Please don't see a 5 in Pennsylvania.
I'm just saying, I hope gas don't hit $5 because, man, I do not want to see that guy angry in real life. But that just drive home.
Again, his neighbors gotta be fed up. Got to. That escalated quickly. He was talking about gas. Then he went to the war, but somehow connected everything back in that rant, and it was beautiful.
It was, because it's like all these issues going on. Like, we are out here struggling. We're struggling. We're Well, I'm still fat, so I ain't that hungry yet. But I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And you got the nerves to want $400 million for of taxpayer money for a ballroom. You spent $2 million on painting the reflecting pool. Oh no, guess what? He wasted more tax dollars for Kid Rock to use uh American helicopters of Army helicopters to film a damn promotion for his concert. And the dude, what's his name? The Pete, I think it's the Pete dude that was in that damn video. He was in the video with Kid Rock too. So we're using taxpayer dollars to fly these military helicopters to promote Kid Rock's tour. We're using tax dollars because those pilots work for the United States Army or Air Force. Well, I don't know what branch they're under, but that's the damn Army that's get paid for with our tax dollars. So we're using our tax dollars for Trump friends to film promos for their concerts. But gas is about to be $5.
Listen, I just live here in the United States of America. You know, I mean, at this point.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done with talking about that part of the show. Let's head into some Aaron Parnas news before I start going down the whole rabbit hole, and it'd be a whole episode. And I ain't getting to the rest of the show, and it's a lot to kind of get through. So let's head to this first clip.
We have some huge news right now that broke overnight that everyone needs to know about because Louisiana's Republican governor is set to announce the cancellation of the upcoming May 16th elections, even though voting has already begun, so that he can redraw the congressional maps and eliminate 2 black majority districts to disenfranchise black voters in the state of Louisiana. This is simply unheard of. Absentee ballots have already gone out. Early voting begins any minute now. And Governor Jeff Landry, according to the Washington Post, will announce on Friday the cancellation of elections so that they can redraw the congressional maps, eliminate the black majority districts, and then hold the elections again at a later date before November. Here's the problem. The primary elections have already begun. Ballots have already gone out. People have already voted. And so they're literally about to cancel people's votes and cancel the election. Is this legal? No one knows. But everyone needs to know about it. Spread the word. Follow for more.
And people say they was going to try to cheat to win.
Who said that? I heard a lot of people say they was going to try to cheat to win. What you mean?
The people
they
on
just
the
don't want
other
to
side.
admit it.
Yeah. So you basically going to take away these districts that are heavily carried by Democrats. You're just going to write out their seats. So basically, we're going to give those seats to Republicans, and then they ain't got. And then when y'all redraw the map or whatever, then it's going to be more Republicans voting in that election now because that district going to have more, people from the previous district. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. Basically, they're expanding the Republican district, which means there's going to be more Republicans voting in that district, which means more than likely another Republican is going to get elected in that district. And then by them eliminating other districts that's considered Democrats, that means that they'll be able to have more control of Congress and the House because there'll be more Republicans in the House and in the Senate and Congress once these unfair elections are done. I'm so sick of this.
That's what I say. You got a headache over there, buddy?
Yeah, it's like it hasn't even been a full 2 years yet, and I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of these. I'm sick of this country. I'm sick of the people in this country. I'm just sick. I'm sick of it. Let's head into this next clip before I go down another I get more depressed, and then next thing I know, I gotta drink a whole bottle of something before I go to sleep.
We have some big good news that the world needs to know about. After 16 years, every single state, including DC and Puerto Rico, has passed some form of rape kit reform, and it's being led, this effort, by Mariska Hargitay, who is none other than Olivia Benson on Law & Order SVU. Here's what you need to know. For the past 16 years, Mariska's foundation, the Joyful Heart Foundation, has led the End the Backlog campaign. And the goal is to end the backlog of rape kits in the United States of America and drive real rape kit reform. The 6 pillars of the reform include mandating the submission and testing of all backlog kits, requiring the testing of all new kits, creating statewide tracking systems for kits, conducting statewide inventories, ensuring survivors have access to status of their kits, and dedicated funding to support submission, tracking, and testing. And while this week Maine became the final state in the 16-year-long push to pass legislation that reforms the rape kit system in the United States of America, providing hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding to ensure that we end the backlog. It's pretty big news. Spread the word, follow for more.
That is pretty big news. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, so me being oblivious to this, so I didn't know that we had backlogs on rape kits and stuff like that. Like, I figured somebody was to say they got raped and they had to do the whole rape kit thing and for it to be tested on. You think that that'd be something that'd be done like right away? For it to be a backlog where he said like it's a year or so or even longer before a lot of this stuff is done, like it's a lot of rapists out there. Like, especially living on Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh wait, no, that's a pedophile. That's different. Let me go to the next clip before I put my foot in my mouth.
Not necessarily. A pedophile and a rapist the two things can be true.
Mommy, what needs to
I
do?
mean, it's true. It's true.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, it's that good job on the reform. And let's head into this next one.
We have some news right now. The Trump administration is telling Congress that the war in Iran is over, and it comes as there has been really terrible new polling released this morning showing that 6 in 10 Americans, according to Washington Post polling, believe that it was a mistake to use military action in Iran. For perspective, it took years for the American public to get to that point with Vietnam or with Afghanistan and Iraq. But yeah, now the Trump administration is telling Congress the war is over. Why are they doing that? Well, because under the War Powers Act, Trump has to pull out U.S. forces within 60 days of beginning hostilities. Hostilities in Iran began on February 28th. 60 days has run. Unless, obviously, Congress approves of the deployment of U.S. forces, which hasn't happened. Well, so the Trump administration's in a legal pickle. So it's saying, no, war's over now. Saying that the ceasefire that's been in place for about 2 weeks means the war is over. The one legal issue there is that Trump is actually imposing a naval blockade still. And under the international laws of war, a naval blockade is an act of war. So we'll see how this works. Spread the word, follow for more.
So speaking of blockades real fast. So right now Trump currently has a blockade on Cuba. Gas in Cuba right now is $40 a gallon. That's just how little of gas they got on that island. It's $40 a gallon of gas. I didn't know we were beefing with Cuba. When did we started beefing with Cuba like this? That we stopped gas from being sent to Cuba? Like when did this happen? Why was I so distracted by the war over there with Iran and with Iran and stuff that I missed the whole thing that we started a whole new beef with Cuba? Like when did we started beefing with Cuba? We love Cubans, especially their food. They make some good food, but
very true, very true. Now you're starting to sound like oh boy.
I'm just saying, like, when did we start beefing with them? Like, come on. And then, like they said, like he was supposed to pull out over there within 60 days. He was supposed to pull out. He still got a blockade going on over there. So oil is still not coming to the U.S. You got soldiers on the ship that's still over there on the ships that's starving. That's part of the blockade. Like what are we doing? And then these people are like, Trump is the best thing that can happen to America because he's going to stop World War III. Like, he's starting it. What do you mean? He's going to save us from World War III. It's happening right now. He started, when a kidnap a whole different country's leader. I don't even know what happened with them. They just stopped talking about that. Like, is that person even still alive? They sitting in American jail. Guantanamo Bay. Like, where is the president that you kidnapped? Where is that person at? And where's the oil that you stole from them too? By the way, and then it was Iran, and now then he was trying to throw all the NATO people under the bus, say, oh, you guys should have joined in on us attacking Iran, and then now he's talking about pulling all our military services out of NATO countries and stuff like that, dummy. And then on top of that, now we killed. Well, like, what is we doing? What are we doing?
Ooh, you fed up, buddy, ain't you?
Yes, this is gonna cause a lot of. I see why people do drugs. I see why. Because this country drive you to do drugs. I see it. I've seen the light. I have seen it, and the light is telling me to do drugs to deal with Donald Trump. That's what it's telling me.
That is not what the light is saying. Don't listen to the light. That's not the good light. This is not the good light. Don't do it. Don't walk into that light.
What are we doing? He's steady causing war conflict. He don't want to fund no programs. He don't want the Department of Education. He don't believe in equal rights for education across the board. It's just, everything is just so messed up. And property tax is still so damn high, so I forgot to talk about it. So in Wisconsin, well, here locally, I shouldn't say Wisconsin, but here locally, so they went around to people per houses appraising everything, doing appraisals and everything, and then
like they do yearly.
Yeah,
for the property tax assessments.
Yeah, and then in the Sherman area, I think it's called Sherman Park. I don't know. They was talking about theirs went up 14%, and they're saying the reason why that's happening and why people property tax are going up is because people are going into these neighborhoods, and this is how you see like these companies that own multiple properties. They go into these places. If they don't sell, they end up renting them out. But sometimes they only rent them out if they can't sell the house, and the house will just sit there and it goes vacant and eventually become abandoned. And that's how a lot of these areas get ran down. But what they're doing is, so like when they're going into these areas that are majority Black people, they're going into these areas, they buy these houses, they fix them up, they're doing these flips. What they're doing a poor job on a lot of these flips. I've seen some of them; they were terrible. They do these flips on these houses. And then they're like, oh, well, now the houses in these areas are selling for this much because they don't put in the fake wooden floors, and then probably took out the old bathroom tiles and put in some new ones. And now the house is worth $125,000 instead of $80,000.
And they all look the same colors, all of that. Just cookie cutter on the inside, all the houses.
Areas and did. I'm back, I think.
Okay.
Okay. So they go into these areas, and like I said, they buy these houses, they fix them up, and they sell them. Now they're $125,000. Now, even though the other houses that are currently the homeowners that are currently there and they live in these areas, if they did not do any improvements to their houses whatsoever, but because these few houses in the area were renovated and fixed up and sold at a higher price, now it forces everybody in that area property tax to go up. And it can only be like 2 or 3 houses. Not everybody property tax went up. And a lot of people are saying like, hey, I've been living here for 30 years. I'm on a fixed income. Yes, my house is paid off, but now I might have to sell my house because I can't afford the property tax. And they don't understand for Black communities, like when they own a home and the home is actually paid off, that's another way of creating generational wealth for that next generation to not have to struggle as much. And that's what a lot of people don't get. Like we finally get these homes and we take care of them and everything, and we do everything we can. But then here comes, somebody with money, or like I said, I hate to say it, but a certain color or a certain person come in, they buy up these houses and they flip them and do these things. And out of doubt, the people who've been in that community for 30 and 40 years can't afford to live in their community anymore. And they're being forced to sell their houses, or the houses just get foreclosed on by the city. And like I said, and this causing people to lose their home. And like something has to be done about that. Like there has to be a way, like ain't no way that I should be paying my property tax should go up $2,000 because somebody else decided to renovate a house and sell it.
Yeah, man. Every year it just keeps creeping up. And
Yeah.
I was like, how the value of my house go up $15,000? Like, what happened?
Yeah. And then a lot of these people who are forced out their homes, they're going to be going to these facilities that cost even more money to live in. And then a lot of these people who go into these facilities, they don't have control over their finances. The family either pays for everything up front, or they have to sign over their finances to the facility that they move into. So if I'm on a fixed income, say like I'm only getting $1,200 a month, and this facility is like, hey, well, you can stay here for $1,000. I mean, we're providing food and everything. That's left me with $200 for a whole entire month. Like, those people can afford to live like that. And like I said, these people that worked whole lives to try to build something and leave something for the next generation to not struggle as much. Like I said, I thank God that my grandfather bought a house, paid the house off twice, and left a house for the next generation. And because of the decisions that he made, I'm not in a financial struggle because of the decisions that he made. And like I said, that it takes off the burden off the next generation. And like, now it's up to me to try to build something for the next generation. Like, I don't plan on having kids, but I have a nephew, so it's to build something for him, so that way when he gets old enough and he, we dead and gone from this world, he's in a much better position than his uncles was and his dad was. Like, this is how you build each generation. Like, each generation leaves something for the next generation to build on to. And if these things are constantly taken away from us, we're going to constantly be living in poverty and constantly struggling. And then they wonder why the next thing you know, we're going to be living like how it is in Chicago, where it's all it's high rises. They got 50-some floors of just people living in poverty. And next thing you know, you got people gangbanging over property that belongs to the city or the feds. Like, what is we doing? Like, something has to be done. We need policies. We need people in politics who's really willing to get in and make these changes and make things happen for the better of everybody, not just a certain group, but the better of everybody. So I shouldn't say just Black people, because people who are white, Mexican, and other descents who live in areas where it's suitable for their income as far as property tax and everything like that. But you have people going into those areas and buying up those houses and jacking up the cost of their living. So like I said, something needs to be done. And like I said, I hope in the future we get those policy changes. Currently, under our current mayor, Cavalier Johnson, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I still have my opinion. He's a terrible mayor. I don't care what anybody says. He is a terrible mayor for the city of Milwaukee.
I agree.
Because there ain't no way how our school system is failing. Our roads is terrible. Our cost of living is terrible. You're not doing anything to help the people. We had all these floods going on around the city. We just had, like, last rainfall, floods and stuff happening. People power went out. All these other kind of things. People basements flooded again for a third time. And yet there's nothing. You're not doing them. We get on TV saying we're trying our best. We don't want you guys. As a matter of fact, it's your guys' fault that everything was backed up and flooded, because you guys raked all your leaves into the street, and we wasted time. We didn't come pick up your leaves in time, and because you sprayed the leaves out into the streets and everything was clogged because y'all put the leaves on top of but y'all never came and picked them up.
Yeah, and it was crazy. I could see if it was just a few here and there, but it's everybody. I've heard at least 3 different people that live in all totally different parts of the city saying the same thing. It's crazy, and it's not just little leaves; it's big piles of leaves. Like, they literally came down my block, and the leaves that were on both sides of the streets, and because I live at the corner of a T intersection, they came down the block and pushed all the leaves to the T, and then just left them there. They got snowed on and everything else. I was like, oh, okay.
like at the top of my block. So I live on a dead end part of the alley, so it's one way out of my alleyway to get out into the streets or whatever. So at the very top of that, as soon as you get to the top of the alley to exit, to your right in the street was a pile of leaves. That pile of leaves from October until they finally came and picked them up mid-March. It took them that long to come pick it up, and then by the time they came and picked that stuff up, we was already getting rainfall here. For some reason, we got a early rain season this year. And like I said, every time it rains, it floods because you guys won't come around and do your job. Now you want us saying, well, next year or this year, when the fall comes and stuff, instead of us coming to pick up, you guys just break it onto the street and we do our jobs and come pick it up. We want you guys to bag it. That's the only way we're going to pick it up. I'm like, well, no, I'm not bagging that. So it's just going to sit out. It's going to sit out there in the street. I'm not bagging anything. So it's like, instead of coming up with actual solutions for the mistakes that y'all made, you want us to do more work, y'all job for y'all. Like, and then you're probably still not going to come get them. Because it's crazy, because even if I don't bag them, like if we rake our yard and then put all this stuff into the garbage can, the city of Milwaukee garbage can, y'all tell us, we can't pick it up. We don't pick up debris like that. It got to be bagged. But then we raked it out to the street. You still didn't come pick it up.
Correct.
So what are we going to do, Cavalier Johnson? Because I'm already mad about how you don't redid all these roads. I'm doing these protected bike lanes, and that's some bullshit. We don't need those motherfuckers. Because second of all, I feel like we've been doing just fine, and all you doing is causing traffic backups and traffic jams and stuff like that. Because I kid you not, I sat at a light. It took me 5 cycles to get through a traffic light before. 5. And guess what? Because it's only one lane, because you got this protected bicycle lane, and then the lane that's supposed to be for driving, you want cars to be parked at now. I was 6 blocks away from the light. The traffic was backed up for 6 blocks to get through one light. And this is supposed to do, and like I said, y'all are not talking about this is going to save lives. No, it's not. It's going to cause road rage, and somebody's going to get shot. And we know how people are when they road rage in their cars.
People still find a way to go around those things in certain intersections. You can't. It be just enough space. Yeah, they still do it. It still happens.
I hope my insurance company don't see this. So, when the bus be picking up people right now, it just stops right there in the lane. They thinking everybody's just gonna stop there and wait in that lane for the bus to do that pickup. But Lord, please don't let it be somebody in a wheelchair. That's gonna be another 15, 20 minutes just wait for them to load the person on the wheelchair on there. But anyway, if that left turn lane don't got no cars in it, best believe I'm going in that left turn lane around the bus. Ain't nobody got time. People are tired. They go to work. They work at a job for damn near 9 hours a day, because sometimes you got to get there at least 20-30 minutes early, but then you don't include your 30-minute lunch break and stuff like that. So we spend about 8.5 to almost 9 hours a day at a job. When we get off, we want to get home. I want to get home and get in my underwear and not think about life. And it's going to take me longer to get there because of your protective bike lanes.
We all know how you feel about coming home and doing that.
I'm in my underwear now.
That don't make no sense.
Okay, let me go into this next clip because we already 48 minutes. There's a few clips to get through. So let's get into this next clip.
It's a shame that Jimmy Kimmel can't stand up and apologize for a joke that was in poor taste.
Pete, can you tell me one example of Trump ever apologizing for anything?
Can you tell me one example of Trump?
I don't know why it's happening.
Jimmy
Kimmel made a
Are you serious? Robert Mueller? Robert Mueller? Are we going to act like that didn't happen on Twitter?
You give me
It did happen.
It did happen. And the fact that he couldn't think of nothing make it even more worse. It just made it even more worse. Really, this man says whatever he wanted to say, and as soon as somebody says something bad about him, you need to apologize. Fuck that orange Cheeto. Let's go on to this next video.
Quickly tell you, I was sitting next to Caroline Levitt.
the press secretary's husband. He was one of our guests. He was seated right next to me, and right as the dinner was starting, the national anthem happened, and then he kind of leaned over and said, I watched you on TV, you do a great job. You need to be very safe. And he was very serious when he said that to me. And he kind of looked around the room and he said, there are some...
Sounds like we lost Aisha's phone there. And this happens, by the way, especially when you have so many people attempting to utilize the same cell service at the same time. I did want to add this while we had a moment.
History of niggerdom. Have there ever been too many people using a cell line and start they just go down like just one person phone go down? Yeah, this is a stage. She was told to be safe. It was if this
the whole thing was staged.
It was staged like it was staged where he could convince these dumb idiots that he needs a $400 million ballroom to be safe. And you know what? He's the only sitting president to have made billions of dollars being a president. He's the only president to actually what's his name? Jimmy Carter? I think it was Carter. That man, when he left the office, he still lived like a regular middle class person. That man made as a retired president, he was living only off that $150,000. He was living like a true middle. He wasn't far as I know of, and in my life, I knew nothing of Jimmy Carter. I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing of him. I didn't hear about him going to do speeches. I didn't hear about him doing anything, doing stuff from going around getting paid for appearances and stuff like that. I didn't hear of it. But yeah, here we go. A man sitting in office giving himself tax breaks. He's suing the federal government for billions of dollars that he has control over, so he could tell them, "Hey, just give me the billions of dollars." All kind of stuff. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, next clip.
Well, if they're coming in here bringing drugs and ruining my country, I don't want them here.
They do that less than white Americans.
Huh? That's what I believe.
So should we target white Americans more?
No.
But white Americans do more crime.
If you show me the proof, then...
I'll show you proof right now. 69% of all arrests are white Americans.
There's no evidence.
This is the FBI's website. In 2019, 69.4% of all individuals who were arrested were white. Is that not evidence to you? 11,588 rapes were done by white Americans.
Here's the problem today, though.
Sure.
This is the problem. It's not about white or black. It's about we're all supposed to be one in America. That's what I believe. I think we all should be one. We should all be one.
You don't believe that because you think we should be deporting people out their homes every single day.
Yeah, and that's because that's because
and they don't commit any crime.
He said, "Hold my beer." Sure.
That's exactly how it happens too.
Sure, I give you proof.
And then
I'm glad you asked.
Then he was like, "How about I know? Like, it's literally off the FBI website. Like, how much proof do you need that white Americans create or commit more crimes than anybody else? Like, how much more do you need?" Okay,
like, duh.
So this next clip is a bit of a doozy. But it was what I was talking about earlier when it came to like data centers and stuff like that, and how data centers could be costing us much more in the future. So I want to play this clip and then we're going to discuss.
Keep the doors closed all the time.
It's a sunny afternoon in Atlanta, Georgia. But inside Carolyn Kane's 3,000 square foot home, it's cold.
I'm walking around in a ski suit, trying to stay warm in the winter. My fur jackets.
It's just one of the ways Kane has tried to beat her skyrocketing electric bills.
So effectively your bill had almost doubled in like 2 years.
Yeah.
She's now turned off her heat and water, leaving much of this home hard to live in.
So where do you live right now?
I live in a little apartment in the back.
Is Carolyn's story unique?
Carolyn's story is not unique. So this is the data center, and I'd like you to...
Patty Duran founded nonprofit advocacy group Georgians for Affordable Energy. She's been tracking the cost of electricity in the state for over a decade.
The average bill for an average customer used to be about $150 a month. The average bill now is $225.
A CBS News analysis found Georgia Power, the largest energy provider in the state, imposed 6 rate hikes in the last 3 years. during which time the Vogtle nuclear power plant came online and Georgia saw a boom in data centers. Data centers Duran says came to Georgia for discounted power.
So data centers are actually paying less for electricity than
Far
residents?
less.
Across the country, new data centers are driving up utility bills in at least 13 states. This analysis found Americans who live near data centers are paying as much as 267% more for energy than 5 years ago. And in the next 5 years, the amount of energy consumed by commercial buildings like data centers in Georgia will more than double.
Data centers will add billions of dollars to costs to electricity rates in Georgia if we don't get better protection than we have right now.
Within the last year, Georgia Power announced a rate freeze and agreed to use revenue from large customers like data centers to lower costs for residents. Georgia Power denies passing the cost of data centers on to others.
There is no risk that residential customers will end up paying for the costs of this large growth, including data centers.
But for Georgians like Kane, already taking extreme measures,
I guess maybe it is time, give up my home.
it might be too late. Chanel Call, CBS News, Atlanta, Georgia.
So they claim that they're not passing that cost on to like the residential homeowners. I believe they are. So like, where's this money coming from? If y'all not charging them what you charging a resident for electricity, where is y'all making up for this cost from for the electric that these data centers are consuming? And like she said in that clip, people who live near data centers are paying 267% more in electric bills. That is a high price hike. And I believe that one lady, she said one bill was like $250 some, and I saw another one they had shown that clip to them. Her bill was $600 for 1 month for her house. 600. That's some people on low income rent just for electricity. And yet he got money to spend $400 billion on a ballroom.
You're not gonna let that ballroom go, are you?
I am not. Like I said, people are out here. That lady was walking around her house in a fucking coat. She had on a full coat and fur coat and boots and all kinds of space heaters to keep herself warm in a small, tiny apartment in the back of her house because she cut off the heat to other sections of her house because it was
That's what I was talking about, like how I don't know if they do energy. I'm assuming there's some type of energy assistance in every state because I believe it's government funded, but how they didn't adjust for inflation of these things, and a lot of people and a lot of companies can afford to give their employees raises. A lot of companies are downsizing, things like that. And it's like the cost of energy related bills has went up, right? They go up every year. But wages have not grown up, and now you don't want to make it so that energy, like these programs to help people like energy assistance, you're not moving the requirements up high enough still. They got to go by the poverty limit.
And on top of that, when Trump got into office, he got rid of everything that Biden put in place for clean energy to help reduce the cost of energy.
I remember that.
People. And Trump got rid of that on day one.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
Anybody that support him to really tell me what says Trump, what has he really done for you?
I'll do you one even better. So I know someone that works in the weatherization program here in our state. And they were told that they were no longer going to get funding because the government said it wasn't an important enough program. So if you don't know what the weatherization program is for, it's people, homeowners or renters can apply for it, and they'll come in like and assess your home for like insulation, new windows, new furnaces, energy efficient things to lower the cost of heating and cooling the home, right? And it's been going on for as long as I can remember now. All of a sudden, it's going to get stopped abruptly. That's crazy.
Yeah, so the house that I currently stay in, it was a benefit of the weatherization program. They came in, and thank God my mom was on like a lower income, but at that time, it was boy. So they came in and they what's the word I'm trying to think of?
I don't know. Assess the home.
No, they came in. They put the wall. I can't think of the damn name. I mean,
Insulation.
yes, they came. They insulated the house, and we got a new furnace. We didn't because of the incomes. We didn't qualify for like the windows and all those other kind of things. But it helped. It helped a little. So before, well, we're the other day the electric company got something called a budget. So we do a budget. So with the budget, our cost is $201 a month for the on the budget. Normally, like I said, it's only two people in it. I'm mainly upstairs, she's downstairs. Without that budget, our cost for electric and heating, especially during the wintertime, is about $350 a month.
Mm-hmm.
That got to be paid, and I'm not one of those people who go all winter without paying an electric bill. I'm not one of those people. So, so it's like that that's all money. $350, and like I said, don't qualify for energy assistance. They said they won't move the amount of income up that for people, more people can qualify that who can benefit from the help of the energy program. And it's almost like you finally make it to the point where you make enough money to be comfortable, but at the same time the cost of living is so high that you can't really live comfortable anymore. And it's crazy that it's a lot of people who are living more comfortable because they're under that poverty line where they get a lot of these free services and free stuff. Like there's even a program here that I know of that people can use. There are they have like disabled, or they have family members who are disabled. They take care of family members, and they will help them buy a car and give them a car for free. There are programs, like she said, for energy assistance, help you pay your electric bill. There are programs for like the food stamps. We have to, like me and Tina, like our food stamp place had like, well, they done moved it now, but this is how old. So it used to be on 12th and Belief. And they used to have like a food pantry and everything in there, but you have to have to go down to the food pantry to get food. But somebody like me and Tina's income, even though we make a certain amount of money, but if we ever was to be down on our luck or something was to happen in our lives, and like we don't shove down a lot of money on something else, like dang, now I don't have food in my house and I need to feed people. Because of our income, we can't go there and ask for at least get a voucher to get food from the food pantry.
Yep.
So it's like, come on, help us out, y'all. Just help. We're going into these midterms and these upcoming elections. Got to do better and have to think. And I'm like I said, I'm not saying that on both sides that everybody are right. Both sides that everybody are doing the politically right thing. But we need to do better at the people we choose to get in these positions. We need to get better people in these positions who are really going to try to make changes and help us as a people, not just black people, whites, just us as a people in general. Now, in case y'all didn't know, for those who don't know, let's talk about Danhausen. So, for those of you who don't know, Danhausen had cursed Stephen A. And after Danhausen cursed Stephen A. because, Danhausen, Stephen A. was a New York Knicks fan. So, by Danhausen cursing Stephen A., he cursed the New York Knicks. And after the New York Knicks was cursed, they had lost 2 consecutive games to the Atlanta Hawks. Boy, I have an update from Danhausen.
Did you know a Knicks fan paid Danhausen to uncurse the Knicks and curse the Atlanta Hawks, which led to a 51-point blowout win? Originally what happened was Danhausen was on First Take during WrestleMania week, and he cursed Stephen A. Smith and his favorite basketball team, which were the New York Knicks.
You have been very, very, very rude to Danhausen, so unfortunately, you are cursed.
But then a Knicks fan bought Danhausen's cameo and asked him to uncurse the New York Knicks, and he cursed the Atlanta Hawks.
This is for the New York Knicks. Interesting. From Jay Starhausen. Hello, it is Human Monies on behalf of all Knicks fans. Please don't let them get roped into Mr. Stephen A. Smith's curse. He can be mean, but the Knicks weren't. Please uncurse him and instead curse the Atlanta Hawks and future enemies. All right, Al, I guess I've been paid, so the New York Knicks, I guess you can be uncursed temporarily until I decide otherwise. Temporary truce of some sort. So they are uncursed for now, unless Stephen A. Smith makes me mad again. And I should curse the Atlanta Hawks, I suppose.
And guess what happened after that? The Hawks got eliminated in embarrassing fashion, losing by 51 points to the New York Knicks. Well played to the Knicks fan that paid Danhausen to curse the Atlanta Hawks. Well played.
Why didn't know he looked like that?
He was literally my.
I've been hearing his name. I've been hearing. I didn't know who that was. Like I seen it, and I was like, "Oh." But I wasn't putting the two and two together.
Just know when he cursed people is real.
Y'all gotta grow up at some point in time, man.
Nope, the curses. I am convinced that Danhausen has natural powers. Curse his enemies, and he can curse other people, and when he curses people, bad things happen. I am convinced now after that.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Let me get to my next video. So next video is just some funnies until we leave. So let me hurry up and get through these videos real quick. So let's get to the next one.
You can call a black person at work, and they'll talk to you while they're supposed to be working. But you try to call them while they're on their break or at lunch. And they be like, look, man, you gotta call me back, man. And you be feeling bad, be like, man, I ain't mean to bother you while you were working. Be like, no, I'm at lunch. You be like, well, I thought this was the time you were supposed to be talking. Be like, no, this is my time.
So I agree, but then
I'll be trying to tell Tina. I'll be trying to tell Tina. Y'all, she want to call me on my breaks time. I'm like, why are you calling me at this ungodly hour? Oh, but that is so accurate, though. Like, my break time is my time. Call me on their time. Oh, okay, let's get into this next clip because I feel like this got black people down to the T. So let's go into this next clip.
Okay, yeah, I can see you. What'd you say? What? Ooh wee. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's crazy. Bed bugs? Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not doing anything. I'm over here at Granny's house.
Who got bed bugs?
Yeah, I know. Well, she has a washer and dryer. You want to come over here and wash your bed bug stuff? Yeah, bring it. How many loads you bringing? She don't mind.
You don't know.
What?
Who you talking?
A friend.
They ain't bringing no motherfucking clothes over here washing with no bed, but hell no. I'm finna go, I gotta go take Jean to the wash house. They can ride to the wash house.
You're down the street? Well, just come on.
I don't know why you doing that.
All right, we'll see you when you get here. Okay, bye.
They ain't bringing no clothes up in here.
Why not?
Not in my house, not with no bed bugs. See, I know about them bed bugs. No. Tell them to take their ass to the wash house where I'm going to pick Gene up and take him and wash and let bed bugs get all over the wash house.
Oh, my God. But she says she don't have no money for the wash house.
Well, you better give her some.
You ain't going to get bed bugs if they use your
I
wash
know
house.
it, because she ain't coming here. Take her to Lacey to your house. No, my washing machine is broke.
Now, why you lying?
Hey, you better fix up a good one. So she sure ain't coming in here. So you better fix up you a good life. You don't think that was a good one, you better find one better.
That's a shame. You shouldn't be like that.
I have never seen somebody cuss somebody out so calmly before. It was The Rock for me, and then when that Rock stopped, like, who got bed? Black people don't play about them bringing no bed bugs into my house. Talking about using my. Oh.
Better take her down to the wash house.
And she said, "You better think of a better life before she get here." If you thought that was a lie. Oh, I love Granny Boy. Oh, let's head into this next clip.
What's up?
What are you doing tonight?
Going home, watching the game. Why?
You're not taking the kids to do anything fun?
I mean, we're gonna hang out. We're gonna have fun tomorrow. We're gonna get some rest tonight, so we can go out tomorrow, so we can go to Disney.
You're going to Disney tomorrow?
Yeah. Why?
Any chance you would want to take Natalie with you too?
Jake's daughter?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You want me to take her?
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could, because we never get any alone time. We always have a kid, no matter what.
I'm not your friend.
Okay.
I'm not your friend, and I don't care about you having
Why are you
alone
my
time
friend?
with the man that you cheated on me with, that you met on Bumble.
Okay,
Like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
It's not fair. You just had an entire weekend to yourself, and I don't get any time to myself.
I'm not the one who decided to cheat and create this life for you. You wanted this.
You really won't take her with you?
No, that
Why?
you know
The
how
girls
awkward
are,
that is.
they
I don't
have
even
so
want.
much fun together. They're friends.
No, I will do nothing to help that guy and to help you and to help your guys' relationship, to give you guys alone time so you guys can better connect. Like, holy shit, that's the most absurd thing that anybody's ever asked.
Now, I was
I
talking
would
to
have
Tina
been like,
about
I
that
don't even babysit my own kids. I tell everybody that. I don't babysit my own kids. I'm sorry.
I was talking to Tina about that earlier, and I was trying to explain it. She was like, "Well, where is the mom, the baby mama ass?" And she asked me questions like, "I know these people." All I know is that his ex-wife asked him to watch the current boyfriend that she cheated on him with, to take the current boyfriend's daughter with his kids to Disney so they can have some alone time and connect with each other. That is, like he said, that is the most absurd thing I have ever heard in my life.
Very selfish.
Oh,
very selfish. People in their thought processes just be blowing me out the water. Like, why would you ever think that was going to be okay? How did you? I was asking you questions because I was trying to figure out how she rationalized that to be okay.
Like, how do you think he was going to go for it?
How could you ever ask somebody that?
Right. Like, no, I'm only going to be a fatherly duty to my kids. Like, I'm not going to take somebody else's kid. Like, no, that's your stepchild, not mine. I'm not doing it. Let's get into this next clip.
3 things that I miss about America when it comes to vehicles and convenience. Number 1, when filling up at the gas station in the UK, you have to stand there and hold it the whole time. In America, they have a little metal hook. You click it and you can just stand there like a boss, or you can go and walk around the convenience store, the gas station. You can do what you want. Number 2, turning right at a red light. Do you know how amazing that is? Do you know how amazing that is? Do you know how much fun that is for me, considering I come from the UK? And that's a big no-no in the UK. That's completely illegal. But in America, mate, just turn right at the red light. It saves so much time. We drive on the wrong side of the road in the UK. You drive on the right side of the road. Number 3, I miss the size of the roads. Like, everything is a tight squeeze in the UK. Everything is a tight squeeze, especially when you're driving this bad boy. I miss it, mate. I miss it. America, get me back.
Come on back.
And that wasn't even a big truck compared to what we have on the roads here. Okay. Let's get into the next one. It's this one and one more, and then we're out of here. This thing, the last one is only 16 seconds. But here we go.
Hope you die, you fucking prick.
Oh, shit.
Fuck you, you pussy. Shooting a gun off in a building. I got every right to say what I want with all due respect, officer. So fuck this cocksucker for shooting up our building. And I hope you rot in hell. And I can't wait till your son realizes what a piece of shit you are. I'm gonna make sure you rot. I'm gonna make sure you rot, cocksucker. Fuck you.
What
happened? Some asshole up here, our plumber, decided to shoot off his gun because he's a psychopath. Because our landlord and owners rent to their family and friends that are all fucking psychopaths. So we had a guy die of a drug overdose on the first floor. They're still trying to rent out that apartment. And now we got this asshole shooting off a gun. So I want the whole neighborhood to know the owners of this building ruin our safety on a daily. He was in the middle of our building, drunk, fucked up like he often is, just sitting there smoking where you're not supposed to be smoking, and decided to shoot off his fucking gun, and then scream and yell at his wife or someone. Because that's the kind of piece of shit we have in our building. Right, Beck? There's our manager. Hi, Beck.
Yo, was that the redhead guy?
No, that's a whole different guy. That's Neighbor of the Year award. Oh, you want to know if they're related?
Yes. Yeah, that gotta be. Those are his neighbors.
It was a downstairs point for me. He was pointing downstairs.
Died from a drug overdose. He was smelling
That's how you know you fed up with your neighbors. You just so happy with their shit.
They gotta be roommates.
And that's the building manager right there.
Wave to him.
Okay, with people. Okay. Here go the last one.
I'm sorry your parents are brother and sister, and you're a fat sack of inbred shit. Now move, idiot. Oh my.
She hurried up and grabbed that cup, didn't she? Well, that got straight to the point. Don't waste no time with that one.
She was on their dad. Like he gave a fuck.
Didn't waste no time.
Okay. I enjoyed y'all this episode. So let's head into final thoughts. We have to do better. There's no need to use taxpayer. There is no need to use. It is no need to use taxpayer dollars to build a $400 million ballroom when gas is too high, the cost of electricity is too high, the cost of living is going up. Nobody can afford their property taxes. Nobody can afford to live. Everything is too damn high, and we got a fat, overweight pedophile Cheeto staying at the house, the most house on Pennsylvania Avenue, just screwing everybody up with his dumb decisions and these wars that he keeps saying it's over, and it ain't over. I can't stand it. I can't stand him. I don't like him. I don't like Cavalier Johnson. Oh, I can't stand Cavalier Johnson, that bald ass head and no damn lips. I can't stand him. But anyway, that's my final thoughts.
Well, okay. Well, we all knew that was going to escalate quickly. So my final thoughts. Food and gas is too damn high. Can nobody afford that shit? Well, I guess we all finna be farmers, huh? And walking everywhere. I don't know what's finna happen, but food and gas is too damn high, and somebody need to fix it right now. But the person that need to fix it is too busy building a ballroom and letting people run in the White House so he can get this ballroom. Acting like a little spoiled princess. That's my final thought.
I have lost connection, so I missed some of your final thoughts.
I was I did you. Food and gas is too damn high. Oh, y'all, he's stuck again. Oh, my goodness gracious.
I lost signal again.
Woo,
It costs
child.
$75 to make tacos. It should cost $75 to make homemade tacos. It shouldn't. And I'm buying everything on a great value list. And it still costs $75 to make tacos.
Ooh. Now you disappeared and came back into the rant. And some talent. Pure talent.
Thank you. With that being said, make sure y'all like and subscribe. They help us out a lot. And we'll see you all on the next episode of Same Cast, Different Day Podcast. I'm going to bed. Good night, everybody.
Bye.